All right, so this is the Pocket Eileen kit, and you'll notice that everything has been already scored for you. And so there's a whole video on how to make score lines, but there's 2 score lines on this one, and you just snap it to break it, and then on the back, there's 1 score line here, and I snap it and break that score line. This is considered our base, our mounting base, and you'll notice they both have double-sided tape, but just one's got the Velcro on it. So on our base, we're gonna get this ready, and this is our mounting base. So first thing we're gonna do is peel and stick the Velcro brand hook on both the left and the right. Then we're gonna flip it upside down, and we are going to put these feet, and these feet are made out of foamy material, and it just provides some slip resistance, so we put that in all 4 corners. There you go. Great. So now that's our mounting base. We set that aside. Here is our angle base for our iPad or our phone. And what we have to do is we have to put a lip on our base it's a flexible repositional base. And so here's our lip. Put the lip on there. All right. Next, what we have to do is we have to take this and put it on top. So we're going to peel the backing off here. And we're going to line that right up with the edge. You get 1 shot at this. You push down on it. And voila, now we can put our phone in here, we can put an iPad in here, you can change the angles with it, I can make it steeper. You want to take your scissors and cut off all these sharp edges, and so you just take your scissors and put them parallel to the surface, snap those off. But now I can also turn it into a document holder by taking that extra scrap and then sliding that in. So it can be a document holder, book holder, and then when you're done, it collapses and it goes into your backpack or wherever. All right, so I'm gonna make a vertical iPad holder for these iPads that are in cases. And I'm using a scrap piece, a 5-inch piece that was cut off the end of our slant board. So we're gonna be using our slant board for this project. All right, the first thing I'm going to do, this is corner guard, and I've taken 1 1/4 and 5/8 inch, and I've overlapped them with VHB tape, so to create a slide-in track. So I'm just removing the VHB tape, sliding that in there. VHB stands for very high bond. And now I'm going to slide my iPad in there like that, and then that's going to give me an idea of where do I need to cut off the corrugated plastic. So now I slid it into that flute so that I can now cut that off. So that slides in there like that. And now I'm going to add this piece onto this end. And I'm pressing down. And do you see these really sharp edges here? I really want to round off those edges. So I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and just knock off those corners because I don't want anybody scratching themselves. So there we go. I just round the corners off. All right, and then on the back side, I've got a piece of corrugated plastic that has double-sided tape on both sides. And I'm going to lay that right about in the middle. And then I've got a second piece of 5-inch wide. I'm going to lay that on there. I'm going to push that really nice and tight in there. Go. And now I can slide my iPad in here like so. And now I'm going to take my slant board and I'm going to turn it up on its side like that. And now watch what. You can slide this right over the top. And if you look over here, yep, you've got this nice vertical iPad holder. That's what it looks like on the back. Now, with the camera, if I take this and I slide it the other way, I'm going to turn this on. And now I'm going to slide it this way. And if I go to my camera button, Now you can see how I can look across the room. So if I have low vision and I need to see on the board, or I want to see zoom in and what's going on, just brings it up to eye level, and when I'm sitting in front of it, right? So it's like, so I don't have to strain my head leaning down. So that's just a nice solution. And then it slides off. This collapses down. So then everything becomes nice and portable. All right, we're going to talk about these QR codes, which are really kind of cool. If you've got a QR code, you can just get, I've got an app that's called QR Reader, but with QR Reader, what you can do is you can, oh, it's capturing it. It's also built right into your iPhone now. So see how it captures the QR code, it vibrates, and then the YouTube clip starts playing on how to build this.
Very nice, adjustable, portable.
All right, so what I want to talk about is with these QR codes, what if I'm visually impaired? I have no idea that there's a QR code on there. So we're going to make a QR code maker and a dot maker so that if I'm visually impaired, I can feel the dot, and then I know how to orient my scanner. So I'm going to pull this piece off here, and I'm going to take my paper clip. Now, see what I did with my paper clip? Do you see where I cut off the tip, bent it up, and then cut it off with a wire cutter? So that way it sticks up. So I'm going to lay that down right in the center there. So now you see that? Now I want you to come in real close because I want you to see what happens with this dual lock. So if I'm going to move over here, there we go. So when I squeeze it, that paper clip tip goes right in between those mushrooms. So now if I want to put a dot on here, I line this up and I squeeze it, and now I've got a dot. So now I can feel this dot, and I know that the dot is always in the lower right-hand corner of a QR code. So I know my QR code is somewhere over here. Now what I can do is I'm taking my scan and read station that I had before, and I'm going to just tip it sideways there. And I'm feeling my dot, so there's the dot. And I'm going to take my cell phone, and I'm going to open up the QR reader.
iPad holder. You can also use it for dot.
All right, I'm going to lay that down there, and now I'm just going to slide this across. And so when I slide it across where the dot is, I know that's how it's going to pick up the QR code. So it picked up for the bookstore for this book, and now it picked up this how-to instruction videos. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to be making a slant board. And the first thing we have to do is we've got one score line on one side of the board. This ends up to be our mounting board. So we break along the score line. We line that up, break along the score line. Then we flip it over. On this side, we have 1, 2, 3 score lines. So we break along the score line here, and we break along the score line here, and then we break along the score line here. All right, now that we broke along all the score lines, we're going to start by peeling this up and then folding this over and pushing that down. All right, now we're going to peel this up, and we're going to stick our little lip on there. There we go. Our lip there. Next thing you're going to do is on this side, we are going to put our soft part of the Velcro hook and loop here, and then over here. Now we're going to open this up, we're going to tuck this guy in, and we're going to take our utility knife, and we're going to use this as a guide. We're going to just follow. I'm going to stand up so I can keep my hand here, and I can get a nice straight line because I'm using that as my straight edge. Then I'm going to break along the straight edge. Then I will take my Cora Claw. So you can see what I'm doing with just that one first projection. I'm putting my thumb and index finger here. I'm pulling this over to the edge of the table and just sliding straight down. Go. And now on the inside, I'm going to put my 2 hook pieces. peel and stick. Slippery backing here, and then peel and stick here. There we go. So now this locks in here like this. So it becomes a slat board. I can also use it as a lap board as well. And now what I want to do is I want to cover this part up because I don't want it to be so rough. I do have a lip on it so it can catch, like if you put an iPad here or, you know, different documents. So you'll notice what I'm doing. I'm pulling this back maybe about 3 inches or so. And then see this fold line right here? So I'm going to take this and I'll line it up on the fold line on the inside. And then I'm going to push down right into that fold line. And then I'm going to push down right on top of my lip. Then I'm going to flip it upside down. I'm going to pull it back like this. Notice I'm leaving the paper still on it. And this is so that I don't get any bubbles. I'm pushing that all in there. Now I come back and I start pulling on that paper. So pulling on the paper and rubbing that in. And pulling that back. And then back. So this helps to not only grip onto the table, but if you notice on my pants here, I can put this down on my pants. It grips onto the pants as well. So if I put a laptop computer on here, it works out really well for, it's a lap board, slant board. And then to make it portable, I lift up, tuck in, and now it's portable. It can go into the backpack and you can take it wherever you want to take it with you. So that is how easy it is to make a slant board. All right, we are going to make a tactile graphic overlay for the iPad, and we're going to use transparency film, and we're going to use a product that's called Remo One tape that I've put on the transparency film, and I'm going to lay it right on the glass of the iPad. Then I'm going to take a straight edge, and with a dry erase marker, I'm just going to trace over these lines. Because I can erase these lines later. There we go. Then I'm going to pick it up, turn it upside down, put it on a piece of foamy, and then I'm going to take a ballpoint pen and I'm going to trace right over. Now you want to be careful that you don't push too hard down, that you don't cut into the plastic. And I'm just going to take that over, up. Next piece. Up. On my last screen. Okay. Now I can take and I can lie this right on top of the app. There we go. And you can see how the strings raise up. Oh, and I can go ahead. I'm erasing the dry erase marks on that. And so there we have it. I can also flip it back upside down and do those lines right in between so that I've got a grid on it. And then I will take this and I will peel this right up from here and I'll just stick it on a piece of, another piece of overhead projection film. So there you have it, making a tactile graphic overlay for things like, such as for the iPad, for GarageBand. All right, so this is a scan and read station. If you come on in here closer to really show what this looks like, and so you can see how the camera sees the image down here, and look, I hit this button here, right? It takes a picture of it, scans it.
Vertical iPad holder for zooming in on the board. 4.
Reads
Tactile
it
overlays.
and highlights it.
5. Page letters 6. Eileen 7.
So that's a very nice, easy, portable scan and read station with the KNFB reader. So now, we're gonna show how easy it is to make it. So this is a board that is 14 inches by, let's see, 12. No, actually 14 by 19. And it's already been pre-scored. So what we're gonna do here is I'm going to take my binder clip. And with my binder clip, clamp it on there. I'm gonna take binder clip here, squeeze it nice and tight. Come over here, a little slippery here, and clamp it there. Nope. So now I've got the magic number of 10, and I can slide my piece of paper in there and then put my iPad on there with the KNFB reader and scan and read the document. All right, we're going to talk about how to add page lifters on here. And so the first thing I want to show you is on these page lifters, here's how easy it is to remove the backing of this Remo tape. So notice how I'm just using the edge of my thumb. Let's try this one. Yeah, and see, just by going like that, it lifts up. Same thing, I'm going to do it one more time. Lifts up. Again, no fingernails, it's just the side of my thumb that flicks up and grabs it. So the first thing we're gonna do is, this one's pretty easy, and I'm lining this up and folding over. There we go. Now that we've got the first page, here's our second page. And with our second page, I need to make sure that I've got this lined up with the edge. So I'm using my first page as a guide and lining it up like here, right? Okay. Then I open up the page and fold over, right? So now I grab my second page. And again, I'm using that as a guide for my next page, lining that right up with the edge here. Great. Pushing down on that, turn that over, and so here's a mistake that I've made because I grabbed 2 pages. But that's okay, that's what I like about the Remo. Use one page as my guide and fold over. Great, push that down. And my next page, so I'm grabbing with just one. And again, gonna line this up right underneath. Oh, this one I didn't take the backing off. There we go. And I line up, push down, and then fold over. All right, now I'm going to grab my next page. Again, I'm going to line it up. Actually, that's kind of a peachy thing. I'm going to put purple over here. Lined up onto the edge, and I push down. Turn the page and fold over. Now I can do my peach. Take my next page and line up like that. Turn the page and fold over. To the next page. I gotta make sure I don't grab too many there, because it's very easy to accidentally grab. Go, push down, turn the page, and fold over. Line that up, push down, turn the page, and fold over. Page, push down, turn the page, fold over. push down, turn the page, and fold over. So now you have your page lifters. And so then you can grab here, if I say go to the purple page, you can grab the purple page or the yellow page. So it's really easy that for people that can't get in between their fingers, can very easily grab one of these, and makes it much easier to get to that particular page. So there you have it, page lifters on the fly.